Welcome to Muktangan Exploratory's Physics Lab. Physics is the branch of subject which involves matter and its relation to energy. It involves the study of physical and natural phenomena around us like sunrise, sunset, formation of rainbow, formation of shadows and many more. Physics is a subject basically divided in 6 parts. These are mechanics, optics, electricity and magnetism, thermodynamics, waves and atomic physics. Let us see what is there in our exploratory and what we do with some demonstrations. In our daily life, we see different types of machines around us, at home, in the factories, and everywhere we can see the machines. Some of them are very complex machines, but some of them are very simple machines which we use in our home. As we use these simple machines in our daily life, so we must know more about them. Now, what are simple machines? So, simple machines are devices that make our work easier by less effort. A simple machine is a machine that changes the direction or magnitude of the force. We can say that simple machines use mechanical advantage in multiplying force. Simple machines are useful because they make our work easier with less effort, and we can do or perform our work very easily. There are 6 types of simple machines: pulley, lever, inclined plane, wheel and axle, wedge and screw. Now, one by one we will learn the simple machines. So, this is the model of lever. This is the model of lever by which we can show that a smaller effort applied at the greater distance from the fulcrum can move a larger object. So, basically there are 3 parts. You can see this is the fixed part, this is called fulcrum. This is the heavy weight that is called load, and this is the effort arm. So, distance from this fulcrum to load is called load arm or force arm, and this is from fulcrum to this effort arm. This is called effort arm. Wherever we apply effort up to that point from this fulcrum, it is called effort arm. Now, I am going to keep these weights here on the hooks and let us see if it is able to lift this heavy load. So, first I am using this bigger load. So, here you can see that this is able to lift the heavy load. This load is very heavy than this effort. So, in this case, this is our effort arm, load arm is very small, distance between these two, and this is our effort arm, this is bigger than this. So, with less effort I am able to lift this heavy load. Now, suppose I take this small weight and keep it here. So, here you can see this small weight is not able to lift this load. Suppose I want or I increase the effort arm by putting this small load here. So, you can see very easily this small weight can lift this heavy load. So, only by increasing the effort arm we made our work very easier and with the less effort. Now, we have seen lever has basically 3 parts: fulcrum, load and effort. So, according to their position, there are 3 types of levers. Class 1 lever, when the fulcrum is in between the load and effort. The example is seesaw in the park or weighing balance. The second type of lever is second class lever, where load is at the center, fulcrum at one corner and effort is at the other end of this. We will see some examples. Here we can see this is the lemon squeezer. So, this is the fulcrum. Here load is kept and effort is at this end. So, this is second order lever. The class 3 lever is the fulcrum is at one end, load is at other end and effort is in between. So, if we want to pick any object using this, so we have to apply effort in between. So, this is the fulcrum, this is effort and this is load. So, this is class 3 lever. I will show you some examples of class 1. Scissor is the class 1 lever, fulcrum, load and effort. Nail cutter is again first order lever. Stapler is second order lever and this knife is third order lever or third class lever. Now, this is the second type of simple machine which is called inclined plane. I will show you how less effort is required to lift a given load over a certain height when we use inclined plane instead of lifting it vertically up. So, here this is the load and this is the force applied to it. So, 3 different types of slopes are given. So, I can change them. So, just watch what happens when I keep this load here and try to pull with this load. What happens? It can be easily lifted. Now, I am changing this slope. Now, you can see this is not able to lift it up to the highest point. This is the third one and just watch what happens. Here this small weight is not able to lift this at all. So, what happens? When the slope is very steep, it is not easier to lift, and when the slope is here, you see it can be easily lifted. This load is very high or more weight than this one. So, with less effort, by using inclined plane, we can lift the heavy weight. This is 150 gram and this is only 100 gram. So, with less effort and using the inclined plane with less slope, we can easily do our work faster. Now, we will see the next simple machine is pulley. So, pulley is a wheel that carries a flexible rope, wire, cord or cable or chain on its rim. Pulleys are used singly. Single pulleys can be used or multiple pulleys can be used to carry or lift heavy loads like this. Now, what is a pulley? I will explain you. It is a grooved wheel through which a rope can go. Here we can say, if this is fixed, one end is fixed with load and the second one, through the second one we can lift the load very easily. Here we are getting the maximum mechanical advantage. Why this happens? Because actually we are doing our work towards gravity and work is done against gravity, means we are lifting any object to overcome the gravity, but our effort is in the direction of gravity, so it will be easier to do work. Now we can use these single pulleys or multiple pulleys like this. This is an example of single pulley. One point is fixed, so this is called fixed pulley. We can use combination of fixed and moving pulleys. In this model we can see this is the fixed pulley. Pulley is not moving at all, but when the load is lifted, here we can see this pulley, actually this pulley can move up and down and load is getting lifted. So in daily life there are so many examples of pulleys like elevators, exercise equipments, theatre curtains, flagpoles, blinds, garage doors and clothes dryers are the most of the seen examples in our daily life. You are aware of what are wheels? You drive bicycles, see cars on the roads, vehicles, they all use wheels. Now how the wheels are discovered, we will just see. In olden days, people used to make buildings and they use stones for making them. So it was not a very easy task to lift heavy stones from one place to another place. So they used logs for carrying the heavy load from one place to other place. Now I have these pencils instead of logs, and just see, if I push this log in this direction, you can see it takes so much effort for me to take from one place to this place. But if I use logs here and keep the load here, and you can see with very less effort it can be taken from one place to another place. But there was one problem, that every time they have to keep these logs in front of the load to carry on the loads. So what they did, they actually cut the logs and made the wheels out of them. Examples of wheels are in daily life: bicycle, cars, Ferris wheels, electric fan, analog clock and all. So here clearly you can see the axle is in between the wheel, it goes inside the wheel, so it can freely move. Now this is wedge. Wedge is another type of simple machine that is designed to split things, cut things and separate two things. A wedge is a wide at one end and tapered or pointed at other end, so it makes easy to do our work. For cutting things, you can see this scissor, this part is called wedge, these are two wedges. So this part is slightly thick and this is pointed at one side. Similarly in case of knife also, so you can cut very easily with the knife. Paper cutter is also one example of wedge. Now I have two blocks, one is cubical or cylindrical rectangular box. Suppose I have this sand and I want to split it out in two parts. So if I apply force and move in the sand, we can see it cannot be easily make parts into two different parts, but the soil is piled up in front of it. But if I use this wedge, now see what happens. So the pointed part can easily make part and you can easily separate this sand. So this is the advantage of wedge. So one side is slightly thick and it is tapered or pointed at one end. So you can easily cut with the scissor. Again, ziplock or zipper is also example of wedge. It can separate two things. Now, why this is important or why this is useful? So I have two nails, one is blunt nail and one is pointed nail. I have this eraser and I am going to insert this blunt nail. So I cannot easily insert it inside the eraser, but with this pointed thing I can easily insert it inside the rubber or eraser. So you can see this gives us advantage, and this is the example of wedge again. Now screw is again called a simple machine. So here you can see screw is similar to nail, but what is the difference between nail and screw? There are threads on it. You can see you can push a nail very easily in an eraser, but what about screw? If you take a screw, you cannot push it very easily inside the eraser. You have to turn it to push inside. So this is the difference between screw and nail. So there are threads on the screw, and you can use screw with different materials like wood, metal, even concrete, plastic. Here you can see this is the example of screw, this bottle. You can turn it with your hand to close it and open it. So what is the advantage of this screw? Here you can see this is the lid, just you can press fit, but you can see it is not tight. So incidentally, if it falls from your hand, you can see it can open easily, but here in this case what happens, the screw, because of the screw it is tight and it cannot be easily opened. Again this bottle has also threads, and this is the example of screw. Here you can see this is the bottle with the example of screw. There are threads you can see, and this motion, this is the example of lever. This is Archimedes screw. You can see a pipe is here and a tube is threaded or it is around the pipe. So if I put this end into water and move it like this, so water can be collected from lower reservoir to upper reservoir. Slowly the water will come through this pipe and it comes, or we can collect it in the upper reservoir. This is called Archimedes screw, and without any machine or motor we can lift the water from lower reservoir to upper reservoir.